Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order aimed at removing some of the legal protections given to social media platforms. He said the firms had unchecked power to censor and edit the views of users. President Trump has regularly accused platforms such as Twitter and Facebook of stifling conservative voices. The order, which is expected to face legal challenges, comes after Twitter decided to append fact-check labels to two of his tweets this week. Now, Twitter also today decisively hit a post by President Trump it said was glorifying violence. At what cost does this feud with President Trump come to Twitter, and should we be concerned here in Ghana? Adam Gliming is lead security and risk consultant with Global Secure Solutions Ghana Limited. He joins me for a discussion on this. So, Adam, is Twitter doing anything wrong by flagging posts he deems misleading or harmful to the public?
It depends on the degree. You have this thing called censorship, where Twitter potentially can infringe on the rights of an individual by not letting their posts or their voices be heard. And people liking social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, as you know, you can liken it to sort of like Times Square or public square or like park where people can express their voices and be heard. So Twitter, by using an algorithm that probably targets or has a bias on a certain social demographic, can, yes, potentially, cause, restrictions on people voicing out their opinions, which I don't think is the symbol of free speech in America.
But we are talking about President Donald Trump, right? Anyway, so what sort of limitations could this executive order issued by President Trump have on social media organizations if it pulls through?
So if this thing is able to go, right now they need to look at the laws, reassess certain protections that Twitter and the social media organizations have, and find a balance as to what extent can Twitter say that a post is inappropriate, or violent. I just think that this is, to be honest, it's a way forward for freedom of speech, because I know that people on Instagram, for example, who are skeptical about what's going on in the world, who have videos and information, are not really allowed to operate. Their videos keep getting flagged, or they just don't show in your post, and that is not really a freedom of speech. So
to the extent that it is harmful to the public, to the extent that information is misleading.
So you want to talk about fake news and violence and stuff like that. Twitter and social media organizations are protected already to be able to influence the kind of information that is coming out. But then how do you also deal with people who are, let's say, from a certain sect, let's say maybe Muslim, who has his own views and is being suppressed? I think that is the angle that Donald Trump is hitting in terms of in ordinance with the First Amendment, which is about free speech. So it's a fine balance between those two elements.
And it's just a U.S. thing. Should I be worried about how this plays out here in Ghana? Could there be ramifications for us here in Ghana as well?
Definitely. This is going to have a widespread impact on any user. America is the powerhouse of innovation for social media platforms, and they have millions or billions of users worldwide. So yes, it will be impacting to us as well. However, if you're someone who appreciates different views and opinions from a wide spectrum of, race, religion, background, personal beliefs and opinions, then I think it's a win for you, because now it means that information that usually you're looking for, which is censored or is not made available to you, by the time that the law or the executive order is in place, it means that you have a wide stream of or choice of information that you want to subscribe to in your feed.
Okay, let's come to what is perhaps of major concern for us here on the marketplace, whether this decisive action could affect the business of Twitter. Could it come at a cost to Twitter? Don't forget, Trump has a lot of following on social media, and his followers could be incited, and it's going to be not so good for Twitter, if you can imagine. Tell us what you think.
I don't see this really affecting the bottom line of Twitter in terms of its profits or, its share value and stuff like that, its brand reputation and image. I think this actually has a bigger impact on the people that use Twitter. For example, if, let's say, I was a Muslim with radical views, I should be able to express my views without infringing on anybody's freedom or within reasonable limits. If you're a Christian and your views were in conformance with what is the social norms and your posts were getting across to your subscribers, and you had a business on Twitter, it means that you make more money because your posts are reaching your audience and people may patronize your products or your services. But on the other hand, because maybe there's a bias based on my social demographic or my religious beliefs, it means that I will not be able to do as well using that as a business driver. So yes.
Just a quick one, and we have to be quick on this one. I may have to disagree with you on this one because we saw the last couple of days that Twitter shares fell in the midst of this ensuing feud between President Trump and Twitter. Investors were a bit skeptical. You don't think, especially when it affects the popularity of Twitter, you don't think that there could be some issues Twitter has to deal with there?
I don't think so. It's probably that kind of volatility in the market where the market always reacts to, information, especially from a president who's powerful like Donald Trump. But I don't think that in the long term it's actually going to affect anything. It's just going to be able to, it's just going to put some kind of measurable degree of transparency in terms of people expressing their views and having the freedom to say what they want,
right,
what is on their mind. Yeah.
Adam Glyman, thank you so much for your thoughts and perspective on this matter. We appreciate that you could join us. Now,